Hi guys, my name is Nikki Nash, and again, we are having another day of content and coffee. So, I'm just gonna walk you through some things today. I'm also gonna, as you know, I like to keep notes to the side, so completely type away if you have questions or give me some thoughts, and I am so excited to be here with you. So, let's just get started. The intention of these sessions, again with content and coffee, is really to discuss how content can make a huge difference in growing your business and attracting and acquiring your dream client. And that has honestly made one of the biggest differences for me as I continue to grow and have been able to replace my corporate salary, which is the best. So, that being said, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Nikki Nash, and I am a business used to be a business consultant. I am a business coach. I work primarily with women who are starting their own business. Ideally, it's an online business. Maybe they're coaches, consultants, image consultants, business consultants, marketing, product management, health coaches, life coaches, those sorts of things. Anywhere where they have a service-based business that's online. And what they're really looking to do is replace that corporate salary that they had and be able to have a flexible schedule and work with what works for them and something they're passionate about. And so those are the folks that I work with. I've been in marketing for a little over 10 years. So I started in publishing. I was at InStyle Magazine and Travel and Leisure. And then I transitioned to ad agency and eventually went client side. So I've done the gamut, and ultimately I even did the startup thing and ultimately decided, working for myself was the best move for me. So I really love having these morning conversations with women like yourselves who are either in the same boat where they've left their full-time jobs to start their own gig, or they aspire to. And so the goal for these chats again is to really just discover how content can make a huge difference for you as you grow your business. So we'll have them every day, Monday to Friday. There will be certain weeks where we'll have specific challenges. So stay tuned for those, because next week we will have a convert your content or content that converts challenge, so that you can really start creating content that actually gets you new clients, which would be amazing, I know, for a lot of women who are joining us today. So again, as you're tuning in, if you don't mind just sharing this live chat with your friends, inviting them into the group. I share tips across all my social media platforms. So if you're on Periscope, or if you're on Twitter or Facebook, well, obviously this is a Facebook Live, but you know what I mean, Instagram, Pinterest, all of those guys, Snapchat, you can follow me at Nikki Nash Co. And I also just want to introduce Delaney, who will be within the Facebook group and on other platforms as well. And she's on the Nikki Nash & Co team, and she's amazing. And she's also here to support you if you have questions and things like that. So on just a couple more housekeeping things before we get started. On this post, if you have insights or things that you're learning, feel free to just type them in the comment box, like, hey, I totally get that. Oh, this resonates with me. I just discovered this for my business. Any actions you're going to take, jot them down here. We're all here to support you. And then there's also going to be, at the end of this post, a note pinned at the top where you can ask me any questions, and you can ask each other questions. So if you have very specific content questions or business questions, you can feel free to type them in the comment box, and I'll either get to them tomorrow in tomorrow's stream, or we'll do it right within the comment box, kind of whichever works for the big group. So getting started, I'll just do a quick recap of yesterday. So yesterday, if you weren't able to see the video, we spoke about how you are the expert in your field, and how really your audience is coming to you and really looking to you for information that they don't have. And so if you just step into the mindset of, I've got this, I actually know more than my target audience, and whoever knows more than me, they're not my ideal audience anyway. They're somebody who I can learn from. And so once you kind of relax and go, I'm sharing information that my audience may not know, you're able to really more freely share that content. And I apologize in advance if you hear loud noise. I'm at my parents' house, and apparently they're doing the lawn today, so it's getting a little loud. So just type down if you can't hear me, and I'll speak up, or I'll move locations. But that was number one, is really just knowing that you're the expert in your field. And then we started talking a bit more about really getting into your target audience's world and discovering for yourself who your dream client is, who you really want to work with, and really getting to know them intimately. And if you have that intimate relationship with your target audience, to really get a sense of who they are and where they're coming from, it'll really make a profound difference in how you create content, where you'll put content, and how you'll relate with your target audience. So that's where we were yesterday. We left yesterday with a little assignment of just jotting down who your dream client is and as much as you can about them, really getting a sense of where are they challenged in their day, where are they really excited, what are they passionate about, who's in their life that they care about. Those are the sort of things that you want to start getting in tune to when you're starting to think about your dream client. Because if you're creating content that adds value to your dream client's life, it's natural and makes sense for you to start with, okay, who is my dream client, what's going on in their world, what challenges are they facing, and then leverage your content to really solve those challenges. And so that was really the beginning of the homework assignment yesterday. So today we're going to go a little bit deeper into getting intimate with your dream client, and then we're going to talk a little bit more about actions you can take to really discover how you can add value to their lives. So if you are trying to write or if you're stressed out about creating content, again, we talked a little bit about this yesterday, but just take a deep breath and really just go, okay, what is it like to be my dream client? What is going on in their world? And so I want to share a little bit with you about things that have helped me create my messaging and my content and throughout my career, and specifically as I started being a coach. So for me, if I look at my experiences, and I'm typically targeting women who have had similar experiences to me because I know I can help them best, is I was in a job that, or many jobs that were really sucking my soul. Like, you know that feeling when you're like, I can't stand this job, but the money pays well, so I'm going to stay because I have student loans or bills to pay or things like that. That's really where I was. And I spent a little over 10 years jumping from job to job, going, you know what, oh, this will be the job, this will be it. And then getting there, and after about 6 months being like, I don't really know if this is it. And then staying for about another year and a half, because, you know, I had it in my head, you have to stay at least 2 years. And then moving on to the next one and going, okay, that job wasn't it. This new job, though, this job is it. And this is where I'm really going to find happiness. And then same thing would happen time and time again. And I started thinking, well, maybe something's wrong with me. Like, maybe I don't know how to commit to a job, because clearly other people are happy in these jobs, so maybe there's nothing wrong with the job and something's wrong with me. And I started really discovering for myself that that wasn't really it. It wasn't so much that there was something wrong with me or that there was even something wrong with the job. It's just, it wasn't the right fit. And so as I started to discover that for myself, and please, you know, like, type in a hell's yeah, or I got that, or I've been there, so let me know if this is at all resonating with you. But I really started discovering that I was not in the right places for me, and I wasn't in the right jobs for me. And so as I started thinking about what I wanted to do next, I realized, you know what, my strengths and my area of genius is really content marketing, relating with people, and providing that, you know, transformational experience where folks can transform the way in which they do business. And I've had that in my life, and I'm like, I can provide that for others. And so once I really tuned into what my zone of genius was, I was able to start a business that made me more money than I made in corporate, which really changed my life. And so I'm looking for women in my business to do who had that similar experiences. But when I'm writing content or when I'm writing messaging, what I have to do is I have to go back in that space where I was miserable. Like, it may sound like, why would you want to do that? But if I really want to create content that adds value to my target audience's life, and I know that what added value to their life would be really, how can you get out of that place of misery and what your next steps should be. For me to be able to do that and provide content for women, I'd have to honestly step back into that and step into what was it like for me and for other women who are working in a job that's literally just like taking a piece of them, and they're really just not happy. And once I was able to do that, I can go, okay, here are, you know, I'm making this up a little bit, but here are 5 steps to make it through your soul-sucking job while building a side business or having your side hustle or doing something you're passionate about, and how to incorporate that into your life. Or like 2 things I did to make my job, you know, support or use funds from my current job to support my next thing. And really just start thinking about, okay, what are the things that I was able to do or that I know could have added value to my life back then, and start writing about that for my target audience. So if you feel what I'm putting down, let me know. And you'll start getting a sense of, okay, for me to be able to write content for my target audience, it's not as stressful or content, or there's no like doing it wrong. It's really just going into what was it like for me back then? What is it like for my target audience now? Sit in that and then go, what would make a difference? What could I write about that would make a huge difference? For me, I quit my job twice, 2 different jobs I quit without a plan, like zero plan whatsoever. So I am an expert. If you would like to talk to me about how to quit your job without a plan, I can teach you how to get through it. I know the emotional roller coasters that it'll be. I know kind of how to come up with what you want to do next. Those are things that I can help my target audience with. So if you have been where your dream clients have been and you know where they want to go, you're like the perfect person to start writing about that experience. And I say writing, but creating content. You could do video, you can do, daily quotes, you can do email challenges, whatever really works for your audience, which we'll talk a little bit more down the line. But you want to start going, okay, what is their world and how can I specifically add value to make a difference in the world that they're in right now? And so that is probably like the biggest reason why getting intimate and really understanding your target audience is so valuable, because in that you'll start coming up with, okay, what should I be writing? What content should I be creating? What should I be doing from that point? And so what you start doing after that is you just start like brainstorming. And so a lot of what you'll do after we close the session is really just sit with, this is what it's like to be my target audience. This is what would make a difference for them. So let's start brainstorming content ideas for how to make a difference for them. And we'll continue to talk about how what the right format is, where to post it, things like that. That'll come later. We'll definitely have those conversations. But before you start thinking about all of that, just start coming up with the brainstorm data dump or brain dump of ideas in terms of what would make a huge difference for your dream client. And so, definitely type down if you have any questions or thoughts, but I promise you, like, creating content that adds value is not as complicated as it seems. And I know for myself, and it's completely human, to start making things more complicated, because everybody is talking about content, and it's like content this, content that, you have to do it right, these are the ways to do it. And really it's just like, your dream client better than anybody else, because they're your dream client, it's your dream. So who do you really want to make a difference for? And then once you know who that person is, get to know that person. And once you get to know that person, you'll know what to write about. It'll just come out of you. You'll say, okay, they are literally spending their days in a cubicle crying. Okay, I've been there. I didn't really cry at my cubicle. I'd find a little place, but I would have days where I'm just like, I can't do this anymore. It's not working, or I need to go for a walk and just like get out. And if you remember what that's like for you, not literally that, but whatever experience your target audience is like, it could be, if you're a health coach, it could be, I remember what it was like to really hate my body, or not feel comfortable in my outfits, or not feel like there was anything I could wear. Those could step into that when you're creating content, and then you'll be able to say like, hey, I know what you're feeling, where you're coming from, and then here are the steps that I used to get there, and here's some content ideas. And it's really just brainstorming. So I know we spent a little longer time on that than you probably get the point, but really the reason is because I think that's the biggest place where people misstep. And I think that a lot of times it's, oh, somebody's already written about this, I don't need to write about it, or how can I write something different? And you spend so much time trying to get it right or do something differently that you miss the biggest piece, which is all your target audience wants is for you to be authentic to who you are, and for you to write something that resonates with them. And it doesn't matter if it's written somewhere else, because the fact of the matter is, a lot of people write about content. A lot of people write about social media. A lot of people write about generating leads. And I can write about all those things. I know about all those things, but I will do them very differently than somebody else. Even if what we're saying is fundamentally not different, our message and the way we come across is different, because we're different people, and my energy is different, my take on things is different. I seem to think that all this stuff can be a lot less complicated than it's ever presented to be. And so if I promise you, two things, if you just sit in understanding who your target audience is, which is the assignment from yesterday, and you spend today staying with that, but being in who your target audience is and you start just going, I'm going to start brainstorming content ideas, and all you do for the next like day or two is you just start going, here's what it's like to be my target audience. Here's, you know, like if you need to close your eyes or meditate, like just visualize what life is like for them and just start writing ideas. Like, I think that they really would love to just be able to lose that first 5 pounds, or I know that they just want, you know, to be able to find the funds to treat themselves to a facial, or they just want to get their nails done, or they just need, you know, to feel like they can connect with their kids. Whatever your area is and whatever your dream client is, just start thinking about how you can best serve them and just start writing ideas. Like, I'm not saying writing a novel, but just start writing ideas. And once you kind of have that list of ideas, you can sit with it and you'll go, okay, I have a list of ideas. What feels right for me to talk about today? To give you guys an example, I spend not that much time coming up with content ideas. I just let it, like, you know, like I let it flow. I write down what I'd like to cover in a period of time, whether it's like different content ideas, and then I spend maybe 10 to 15 minutes max before I like thinking through something before I write it out. And I apologize, I really feel like my dog's about to start barking, so if that happens, I hope you can still hear me. But essentially, one of the things that like has made the biggest difference for me is not making content creation complicated. So keep it simple. 2 steps so far, really like 2 steps and an insight. The insight is you are the expert. You know more than your target audience and where they're coming from. That's from yesterday. The step 1 was really getting a clear understanding of who your target audience is and really stepping into their world. And that was yesterday as well. And then today, I want you to really walk away with sitting in who your target audience is, or who your dream client is, or however you want to even say it, being that person. What information or content or story, sometimes they just need to hear that they're not alone. What is it that they need to hear right now and why it should come from you? You know, just start writing down ideas. Here's what they need to know. And that's where we're going to leave it today, is just writing out what your dream client needs to hear from you. And so that's pretty much it for today's content session. Thank you so much for content and coffee or tea, whatever you'd like to drink. We're gonna pick back up again tomorrow and talk a little bit deeper in this like ideal pathway that I have for creating content. But stay tuned. Again, if you have questions, definitely post them in a comment of the post that says, you know, if you have questions, post them here. You'll find it in the group, but just any questions you have about content, definitely pile them in there. I look so forward to speaking with you tomorrow. And if I can leave you with one last thing, if you want to talk about your business or really get a sense of how either I can support you, or you just want somebody to hear what it's like for you right now growing your business, I do have discovery calls available, a couple of them. Again, it's 20-minute session, and we really just set the intention of discussing where you are in your business, where you'd like to go, and how coaching could make a difference for you. So if you're interested, definitely check it out. It's bit.ly /Nash Discovery, with a capital N for Nash and a capital D for Discovery. Again, the link will be posted at the bottom of this and in other chats within the group, but absolutely sign up if it will make a difference for you. And I am so excited to continue these chats. Love you lots. Bye.